This is The Real Hustle New Recruits. The Hustlers are back, and this time they've brought in two new faces to help them with their scams. New recruits Polly and Jazz. Join original hustlers Paul, Jess and Alex. Working together as a team, they'll carry out scams that are more cunning and devious than ever before. On tonight's show, this lady has misplaced her TV.
I can't believe we're so stupid, actually.
Paul meets his match.
Okay, take that and snap it off so you've got a tiny, tiny little bit of wood left like that.
And Sarah Jayne Dunn is worried about Alex's health.
Have you got a doctor?
No, I don't need a doctor. Let me say
Would you bet we went? He's got to
The marks in this show have no idea they're being hustled. They agreed the footage could be shown so that you can avoid falling for the same scams. The Hustlers have invited celebrity friends to help them with their scams. They'll be thrown in at the deep end. No training and no practice, just straight in. Today's celebrity guest hustler is a British actress best known for her starring role in Hollyoaks, Sarah Jayne Dunn.
I don't have any strategy as such yet to get through today because I don't know what my hustle's going to be. I've just got a million different things running through my head, a million different possibilities of what I might be doing. I think the skills that I've got that might help me today are the fact that I'm an actress, obviously, so I'm used to playing a different role. Hopefully I'll be able to get into some kind of character. Hopefully that will help me. I'm a little bit anxious, a little bit apprehensive, but really excited to know what I'm going to be doing.
Sarah has been told to go to the foyer of an upmarket business hotel. And right on cue, here's someone to give her the hustle briefing.
Hi.
Hello. You ready to get your scam on?
I think so.
You want to know a little bit about it?
Yes, I'd love to.
So you know that sometimes we sell people things that aren't real. That's an easy scam. But some people are wise to that, so what we do is we sell them something that's absolutely genuine, worth a great deal of money, but we sell it to them for a much cheaper price.
Okay.
But how do you get away with the money and the goods?
No idea. Is that impossible?
We're going to find out.
Exciting.
Why don't you meet the gang?
Perfect.
See what happens.
Let's go.
We'll go that way.
Sarah's going to have to hold her nerve in the choke. This hotel is right next to Heathrow Airport and is full of people having business meetings and preparing to fly off to foreign shores. Both are likely to be carrying sums of money on them, making them very attractive to hustlers. This lady takes a seat near the hotel bar, unaware she's about to become today's mark. She barely has time to settle in with her friend before some more hotel guests make their entrance. It's Alex and Sarah, posing as business travellers. But their luggage is a little unusual. Judging by the metal briefcase strapped to Alex's wrist, he's carrying more than his passport and something to read for the trip.
Yes, thank you.
As they carry their drinks towards some empty seating, it's down to Sarah to cause a bit of a scene.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. Oh, I managed to spill everything. Sorry.
She spilled their sparkling water all over the sofa.
Oh, thank you.
Where will they sit now? The little accident was an excuse for them to be able to sit right next to the mark and her friend.
Excuse me. Sorry, do you mind if we just sit here while he cleans up my mess? Sorry. Managed to throw everything on the floor.
Sorry.
All over my boots.
Just need to check.
Alex is making sure the ladies notice the briefcase and the handcuff.
Never be too sure of these days. Why do I look like a criminal?
say that.
Well,
Criminal, as if.
This is me. I do. We sell watches. So you have Tag Heuer.
they are beautiful.
Oh, you like that?
Gorgeous watches.
This is the most popular model at the moment. And we're selling quite a lot of these.
That's my favourite one.
That's your favourite one. Not that. This is a Breitling.
Alex lets the Mark take a closer look at the goods.
They are very popular,
Isn't it?
those at the moment.
But it's one of our. Well, you can have it as
demand for those.
as a necklace.
They're certainly nice watches. That's because they're worth a lot of money.
That's 2,145. But that's not cost price. That's retail.
Retail.
Close that before people get some interesting ideas. Hence the paraphernalia. It looks a little bit
dramatic,
scary, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They all seem to be getting on very well. Time for Jess to cause a bit of an interruption.
Sorry to interrupt. Hello, I've just a message for you.
Yeah.
Mr. Marks has missed his flight from Paris and he won't be able to get here, I'm afraid.
Okay, oh, thank you.
Sorry about that.
That's not good. Time's that flight. That's 6.
He's missed it completely.
He's missed it completely.
Sounds like an important business meeting has been cancelled, and Alex doesn't look too happy about it.
What are we going to do with
that's
them?
fine.
We can't take them with us. We have to pay import duty on these.
The cancelled meeting clearly had something to do with all those watches.
What time? Have we got enough time to go into town? No.
Not at all. We're pushing it anyway.
We're just going to have to try and find somebody to approach. I couldn't interest you in a watch.
Doesn't look like it. He explains his predicament.
We've got a bit of a strange situation because basically we have a dealer who is going to come here and buy these. He's agreed to pay $4,000 for them, but he's not coming. We're going to Los Angeles at what time? 6 o'clock.
6, yeah.
And I can't take these with me because the price of import duty to Los Angeles would just be phenomenal. So I just want to get rid of them for cost price. Cost price for me is £1,500. The whole thing retail would give you about 5,500, maybe 6,000.
Maybe 6,000, I'd say, yeah.
If you're interested at all, we could do a deal. You could take the watches and sell them and make a big profit.
So he's offering the Mark 3 luxury watches for the wholesale price of just £1,500.
Where would we sell those?
To sell on, yeah.
For things like this, you could go to any jeweller.
Yeah, we'd have
You've got
to.
something, so you know
We've
what
not
the
got an
prices
option,
are.
have we?
Yeah, if you want to do that. Yeah. Do you want me to tell you which ones you have?
The Mark wants to know exactly how much the timepieces are worth.
The tag is called the Tag Carrera, if you wanted to look that up. That should be about 2,100 on retail.
She looks the watches up online. Sure enough, they seem to check out.
If you walked into a shop.
But even that amazing bargain on offer isn't good enough for this lady.
I'd do £1,000.
It would have to be 1,500 because then I would feel fair.
She's playing hardball.
That's the bargain of the century. Whereas 1,500.
I like bargains.
Yeah, well, I like.
1,500 is the bargain of a century.
I like them too, but that's 1,500 is a bargain
Yeah,
of the
that's
century.
1,100.
Oh my good lord. Do you have it cash? Cash? Okay, do you have to go and get it or do you have it here? Fine. Deal done then.
Alex decides to let her have them for the knockdown price of £1,100. This must really be her lucky day. And there's the cash. The Mark hands over £1,100 to 2 people she's only just met. But here's the thing. Those watches really are worth £6,000 in the shops. Who's hustling who here? All that's left is to hand over the watches. But here comes Jess to throw a spanner in the works.
Mr. Steele, sorry, there's been a bit of confusion at the other end. Mr. Marks jumped on another flight. He's going to be in about 5 minutes. Really sorry.
What?
He's jumped on another flight. He'll be here in about 5 minutes. There's been some confusion at the other end, and his PA's just called now. He did jump on a flight, and he's on his way now. And he said he'll meet you up in your usual suite.
So the business meeting is back on. Mr. Marks, the original buyer, will be here shortly, and he'll want those watches. Alex pays for all their drinks, but unfortunately for the Mark, the amazing deal is off.
Right, well I think you might have your money back.
You can't, no, you can't do that. These just...
Sarah's job is to side with the mark and make Alex keep his word.
You can't do that.
Yeah, but
We
this
can't do-
gentleman's going to pay me £4,000 for these watches.
All these late...
Send him my way.
He's not going to deal with you, because he's my client. But I will do the deal with him, and you get your profit.
No, you can't do that.
Wanting to do the right thing, Alex offers to sell the watches to Mr. Marks for her and let her have the profits.
No, take your money back for the watches, one of them.
You don't want to make any money.
She wants out altogether.
Because he could just go for the money.
No, you stay with me.
Yeah,
You come with me.
You come with
No,
us.
no. I'm not going to run
We're not-
off.
yeah.
He's coming here. We come together. I will sell them on your behalf, and you will make £2,400 profit. We're going to go upstairs, sit there, and Mr. Mark should be here in the next 2 minutes. Do you want to come up?
The Mark has agreed to let Alex sell on the watches, promising her a healthy profit. But she's still suspicious about what's going on. And so she should be, because it's all about to go horribly wrong.
Are you okay? We didn't see she's getting up there. Sorry.
When hustlers go out, they don't bring money. They bring prop bets. The proposition bet only has one rule, and that's that the hustler always wins.
When was the last time you bought a guy a drink?
Never.
Okay, this will be the first time. Have you ever bought a guy a drink? You've never bought a guy a drink in your whole life? Tonight, either I'm going to buy you all drinks, or you all have to buy me a drink. Fair enough?
Okay.
Okay. Got a little challenge. Okay. It uses 3 matches. Okay, take that. And snap it off so you've got a tiny, tiny little bit of wood left. Just about that. There's 1, there's 2, and 1 more. Okay. So we have to make them float in the bottle at this level here, more or less. First of all, I want to mark the level so we know exactly what we're talking about. Okay, so, right about there, would you say that's about right? Yeah? Of course, if we just drop them in, they'll float at that level. So to make it even more difficult, we'll top it up. As you can see, this is going to make things a little bit more difficult, but there are a couple of rules. First of all, you can't lift the bottle off the table, and you can't tilt it, and you can't remove any water at all.
So, to win a drink, Paul's friends need to make 3 broken match heads float level with the line on the bottle. Either all together or one at a time. But they can't remove any water or tilt the bottle.
I was going to cover the top and then put it to the side. Would that not work?
Not really, because then they'd be floating at this level.
Yeah, you're right.
You couldn't put your hand over it and then turn it?
No, then it wouldn't be upright,
No,
and you'd probably spill some.
Oh, it's going to be so easy when we find out the answer. I just don't see any possible way of doing that without taking the water out. And you're not allowed to tip the bottle.
Nope.
Okay, let's see you do it then.
Ready?
Yep.
Press. Oh no. There they all go. Now there's 1 at that level. Wow. There's 2 at that level.
Yeah.
And there's 3 at that level.
Paul filled the bottle right up to the very top. He then pushed down on the liquid using the palm of his hand. This changed the water pressure, allowing him to make the matchsticks float at any height in the bottle. Each one required a slightly different pressure to hit the winning line.
So, that'll be 3 martinis. The bar's over there.
Cool, let's do it.
That was 3 martinis, 1 each.
Oh no.
A weekday morning. A shopping precinct on a local high street. and a couple of shoppers doing what shoppers do, shopping. This is the shoplift. 20 minutes later, the shoppers exit, having made a purchase. And that's why this lady has just become the mark. She doesn't get far before she and her husband are stopped by a man in a fluorescent jacket.
I think I have them here. Is it a Toshiba? Yeah, excuse me, sorry. Did you just buy that from Taylor's? Yeah. They just asked me to stop you. I think there's a problem with the TV.
Of course.
And here comes the sales assistant to sort out the confusion.
Sorry. We're giving you the wrong one. That's a refurb. Sorry, you could put that down. This has just been...
Sounds like there's been a mistake in the shop. They've been given the wrong box.
There's a guy coming to pick this up. That's a refurb for a hotel. No, he's just going to come and pick it up.
Is it your delivery van?
Yeah. He's coming. It's the white van that usually comes in.
I can only wait for 2 minutes. Is that okay?
I'll come into the shop and I'll give you the one that you're meant to have. Sorry about that.
The security guard is willing to watch the box for a short while.
That's going to be picked up. That belongs to someone else. It's a refurb anyway, so you need to have a brand new one.
The mark is happy with the official taking charge of the TV and heads back into the shop with the assistant.
We mixed up the box. That's why I had to rush and get you. If you just go upstairs and wait for me by the couch area, I'll be with you in 1 sec. Oh, I've got to give him the invoice. I'll be with you 1 second.
Can't forget the paperwork. The couple head up to the television department of the shop and are soon noticed by the employee that sold him the TV.
Back in again.
Yeah, we got a refurb TV. The guys told us to wait, so we're waiting for the telly.
It's a brand new box telly. It just came from our warehouse, which is round the corner. We don't know.
There's a guy in here with glasses.
We don't have anyone with glasses.
There's no employee matching that description.
There's a guy down here with glasses and he just phoned us and told me. Are you one of the guys that work here?
Yeah.
Now, seriously concerned, the mark heads back downstairs to find the man with the glasses. Unfortunately, he's nowhere to be seen, nor is their brand new flat-screen TV. So how did the hustlers convince the mark to hand over her newly bought goods to complete strangers on the pavement? The hustlers were in position and on the lookout long before the mark arrived. Paul was outside looking for customers entering the electrical store, and Alex was already waiting inside. To the genuine shop staff, he looked like a customer.
No, just having a look around, thank you.
But when the mark walked in, he made sure to fiddle with some price labels, establishing himself as someone that worked there. Having observed the direction the couple arrived from, Paul positioned himself in their path, ready to intercept.
Excuse me, sorry. Did you just buy that from Taylor's?
Yeah.
They just asked me to stop you. I think there's a problem with your TV.
Sorry, you could put that down. I'm so sorry, that's my fault. I was meant to bring out the other one.
And once the mark had been separated from the box,
it's purely my fault.
Paul loaded it into the waiting hustle van.
If you just go upstairs and wait for me by the couch area, I'll be with you in 1 sec. Oh, I've got to give him the invoice. I'll be with you 1 second.
Then Alex hopped aboard, and before the mark had even realised anything was wrong, they were gone.
Game over, mi amigo. I was going to wait with the guy, but he wanted both of us to come back. I can't believe we're so stupid, actually. When he walked us back into the shop and said, wait there, the television, we just thought he worked in the shop and that we'd picked up the wrong television. We assumed he worked in the shop as well because he was in the shop when we bought the TV. And now we realise that they've gone with the TV.
This scam is so convincing because the mark is faced with two figures of authority, a security guard and a shop employee. The natural reaction is to assume that they're both legit and do as they ask.
Never allow yourself to be separated from your possessions, even something that you've just bought. If there's a problem, take it back to the shop yourself and sort things out, even if it's really heavy.
Earlier today, actress Sarah Jayne Dunn helped rope in a mark in a hotel lobby.
Excuse me. Sorry, do you mind if we just sit here while he cleans up my mess.
Together with Alex, she persuaded her to help them out by buying expensive watches at a fraction of the real cost.
1,500 is the bargain of a century.
But now, Alex's original business partner is turning up, expecting to pick up all the timepieces.
Mr. Marks jumped on another flight. It's going to be in about 5 minutes.
I will sell them on your behalf and you will make £2,400 profit.
The Markers agreed to let Alex sell on the watches, promising her a healthy profit. In The Choke Part 2. Alex and Sarah take the ladies upstairs to a conference room in the same hotel.
Have a seat. So you're
They prepare themselves for the arrival of Mr. Marks, the business contact. He's a very fussy client, so Alex gives the ladies an excuse to be in the room for the deal.
Would you mind if I tell them that you're friends of Uma's mother? That gives us a good excuse of why there's two strangers in the room. So at least he doesn't start sort of asking questions and being...
Alex lets the Marks see that the genuine, expensive watches are still in the briefcase. Of course they are. They've been chained to his wrist from the moment he entered the hotel.
Oh, do you mind giving me a little bit of water?
Yeah.
All the excitement seems to be taking its toll on Alex. He's looking a little under the weather.
You shouldn't be...
Hopefully that glass of water will perk him up, because here comes his client, Mr. Rob Marks, also known as Hustler Paul.
Hi.
Hello.
Always with the left, with us.
One.
Yeah, I've got you all. These are some friends of Uma's parents.
Randomly
You don't
just
mind, do you?
We're here now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, Alex has the watches and the Marks' money, and she's keeping a very close eye on him.
Perfect. Did you run?
No,
Again, Alex looks unwell. It must be too hot in the room.
I'm just going to sit down, actually.
Do you want some? You've got your water. Are you all right?
So no, I feel a bit lightheaded.
Paul checks over the watches, making sure they're up to his high standards.
Can you tell the ladies that the Breitling retails at around 3.5?
At my shop retails about 4.
Well, yeah, but that's your shop. That's...
Hi. Hey. Hello.
Jess arrives with more refreshments.
You okay?
You don't have a doctor, do you?
But Sarah is getting increasingly concerned about Alex's health.
Have you got a doctor?
We haven't got a doctor. Well, I've got a paramedic.
Would you
No, I don't need a doctor, don't be silly.
Would you
Fine. Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send a paramedic.
Yeah. Would you mind? Is that
No,
all right?
no,
Just to check because we've got a long flight. Just to check.
No worries.
Jess goes off to get a medic who happens to be in the hotel.
I'll be fine, I'll be fine, I'll be fine.
All right. These are fine.
Yeah?
Yep.
But this doesn't stop the business deal going ahead. Paul hands over £4,000 in cash for the watches, currently owned by the Mark.
So we said 4.
Yep. I'll need that.
4, okay.
Good.
Now, just to unlock the handcuffs and hand Paul the briefcase. But Alex is so unwell, he's struggling to find the key.
Have I given you the keys?
No, I've not. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine now.
Are you sure?
And then, disaster.
Just put this...
Fit in here, is it?
Alex collapses to the floor.
Okay.
All right, open that up.
See, she's getting the
Open up.
paramedic. She's getting the
Let me see what we
paramedic.
can get.
Sarah is beside herself with worry, and it's all happening right at the Mark's feet.
He's got.
Alex must be having some kind of seizure. He's even foaming at the mouth.
She's bringing someone now.
At last, here comes the medic.
Listen, he's just collapsed.
Right, okay, can everyone move out the way, please? What's happened to him?
She looks an awful lot like new hustler Polly.
Ian, can you hear me? Ian, can you hear me?
She can't find a pulse. She's going to have to get out a defibrillator and restart his heart.
Oh, what's this? What's this? Right, have you got the keys? Can you undo that, please?
But there's a problem.
Who's got the keys?
She can't give Alex a shock if he's got a metal box chained to his wrist. What they need right now is the key to the handcuff.
There was a key handed about 10 minutes ago down at reception.
Who's going to get the keys?
Do you know what the key looked like? Do you know what the key looked like?
Sarah's too busy looking after her husband. The only other person who's seen the key is the Mark.
Do you know what the key looks like?
Right, we need to get the key.
Right,
we need to get this off
There you
him
go.
now. He'll be fine, he'll be fine. We just need to get the key.
The Mark and her friend are shell-shocked, but do as they're told and go to reception to get the key.
Small silver key.
But no key has been handed in here. Moments later, by the time they get back upstairs, it's too late.
They've gone.
Oh, for God's sake. Is your purse there?
The paramedic, the businessman and the friendly couple they met in the lobby are gone. Along with the Mark's money and those expensive watches.
Oh, yeah, but we did have the fact he's getting on a flight up to LA.
Yeah.
We're going to Los Angeles at 6 o'clock.
Of course, those airline tickets were as phony as the whole setup. They were actually knocked up by new hustler Jazz on a computer. And that foam coming from Alex's mouth should actually have perked him up a bit. It was produced by an antacid tablet slipped into his mouth by Sarah.
It's all right, he'll be fine, he'll be fine. We just need to get the keys. Someone get the keys. Someone's going to get the keys. Quick, we need to get the keys.
As soon as they'd walked down the stairs, Paul gave everyone left in the room the signal to get out. And whilst the ladies were busy talking to the reception staff, the whole troop of hustlers left the hotel by the fire escape.
That was nerve-wracking, and it was scary how easily it can be done. This isn't going to be a new career path for me, no. I would just feel too guilty. My conscience wouldn't allow me. Once was enough. I'm glad I've done the hustle, but no more.
In this scam, the Marks are put in a very stressful situation. They think Alex is having a heart attack. So the last thing on their mind is the cash in his pocket or the watches chained to his wrist.
You know, this was a very elaborate scam, but the underlying message here is that you should never buy high-value goods like jewellery or watches or electrical equipment from somebody you don't know, and certainly never part with cash in those circumstances. It sounds too good to be true, it isn't true.
If you want to know more about how the show is made, go to bbc.co.uk/realhustle.